Hello, good evening, everybody. This is Dr. Rizvi, again live for TechMech Sources. I hope uh, you have been trading according to my given guidelines. And I don't want to waste much time. Before talking about anything, let me tell you that tomorrow is the expiry for Sensex, which is Friday. And Sensex, if you see, this is a BSE Sensex. And the screen in front of me, if you see here, the chart which I have displayed here is a 5-minute chart. It was a substantial up movement today, and it was not anticipated because everybody was thinking that the market is going towards a crash. But you can see, if I take this daily chart, you can see that the market, it started from 151 and it bounced to 836. That means about 700 points, right? So daily movement, 700, about 700 points. That is the movement of about 700 points, which is huge. And I am sure that if anyone would be using this strategy of buying smaller lots with smaller price, so that will make you uh, quite successful because the lot size for this is only 10 for Sensex. So for Bank Nifty, the expiry was yesterday and the lot size was 15. For Nifty, the expiry was today and the lot size was 25. But for Sensex, it is 10 points. So the lot size is 10. That means 1 point of Nifty of Sensex is 10 rupees. So if you get, for example, 50 points, you get 500 rupees, right? And 50 points, if you can see here, the movement of 700 points, you can always catch the movement if you're really keen about investing small in the market and gaining better returns. So let me see a 5-minute chart where I've charted here the support and the resistances. If you see here, this is the resistance 85,924. Again, we have to see that this is an all-time high. If you see the daily chart, this is an all-time high. The market is going up and up. Okay. So when we see a 5-minute chart, we see that this is already on the higher side. So 85,930 is the immediate resistance. So let me write it down here. This is resistance is how much? It is 85,932. So 85,930 around 85,930. Okay. So if the market opens gap up and it is above 930, then you can buy a call. Okay. If it is opening gap down, then again, the first support, that means if it is opening between 85,700 and 85,836, the support will be, first one will be 85,000. How much? We can see here 85,673. And the next support is, as you can see here, this is 85,522. So 85,522. 20, right? This is the next support. We are talking about the resistance and the support, right? These are the supports. If you go further down, then the next support is very prominently 85,277, which is going down. If you see here, 85,000, 85,000, how much? 220. As you can see here, 85,280, sorry, 280. Our first one is 85,347, which can be like 85,360 now. 85,360. So these are the immediate supports and the resistances for this one. Now, uh, we have to be careful that tomorrow, when we catch the market, we have to enter the market as always at what time? At what time? It has got to be entered the market at 9:30 a.m. Rather after 9:30 a.m. Not before that. That you have to keep in mind. Major movement is anticipated at what times? 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Keep this in mind. Okay, these are the two things you got to keep in mind. Okay, now the call and puts. If you're talking about the call and puts, then we can always go for smaller calls. Now, if we see here the option chart, option chain for Sensex, we can see here the gray figure here, this side and this side. You can see here 85,800. So it closed at what? 85,836. It closed. Okay. And you can see here, this is, and the green one tells you the price. So 85,800, if I scroll here, this is the call on the left, on the right is put. Okay. So the price of 85,800 call is 239. And the price of 85,900 put is 371. If we see the IV, sorry, this one, the change in OI, open interest. So it is clear from change in open interest, which is here in the first column, and here is the last column in the put side. So the first column tells you the call side, 85,900, 18,426. That is change in open interest. And here 14,590. That means because the open interest has built up more on the call side, so the chances are that the market will be on the put side. Okay, and then support and resistance will work. So similarly, you want to buy a call or a put. Okay, if the market opens gap up, that means more than 85,840, then you got to be in the put side. Again, you got to see the candles. Okay, as an example, if we see here a 5-minute candle, so morning time. Okay, I told you 9:30. 9:35 candle is here. This is 9:30 candle. Okay, here you can see the green candle. So if you would have taken this trade after seeing the green candle, right? And what I'm asking you is go for 50 points, not more than that. So 939, if you see 940, if you caught up here, the next candle, for example, and you went up till, for example, until here, so 70 points easily, right? What I'm asking you is only 50 points, right? 50 points, 50 multiplied by 10 is 500 rupees. Okay, one lot. If you buy 10 lots, it is how much? 10 lot is 500 rupees. Okay. And how much you're going to get? 10 lot is 500 rupees. You just keep on multiplying. You get 50 points. So 50, 500 rupees is that, and 50 points, 500 multiplied by 50. So it's like 2,500. So you invest 500 and you get 2,500, right? In a very short span of time. Depends on the market, right? If you would have taken this particular trade. Now, I am talking about only 50 points, not much. You can exceed up to 100 points. You can take a risk if you want, but I don't want you to take risk. So be on shorter, the number of points should be less and the lot size should be more. As I told you, you can buy a maximum of 60 lots at one point of time. That NSE allows you. Now, in this tutorial, I am more concerned about one thing, which is option selling. Option selling is for the people who want to invest too much. So if you have a bigger capital in your hand, for example, if you have 1 lakh rupees, right? 1 lakh rupees. Then, for example, if you sell, for example, Sensex, if I, for example, I did a Nifty today, right? I sold a call and a put, 200 points ahead and 200 points at the back of the spot price. Now, if I, for example, here, for example, if tomorrow Sensex, if I sell a call and a put, right? But we got to watch, right? That is a risky game because the profits are limited and the losses are unlimited. Now, in this case, I recommend that you better buy the call or put. Don't go for selling, but go for selling in the case of stocks. Like, for example, if I take an example of Asian Paint today, okay? If you see Asian Paints today, this is the 15-minute chart. Normally, we see a 15-minute chart, okay? Here, if you see, if if here, if you, for example, you bought yesterday, let us see a daily chart. Daily chart, this the maximum was 3250. Today's maximum was 3286. Now, the first point is that the first 15 minutes when we watch, if it breaches the yesterday's high, then only we'll take a call. Now, if you see here, the maximum is 3249, right? Now, if yesterday's high was 3249, and this is 3206 is the yesterday's low. So if I write here clearly, I'll use an anchor text. So uh, watch the candlestick chart. It's candlestick chart after 9:30 a.m. and check out the first 15-minute candle. Okay. If it breaches the yesterday's high, and how much was yesterday's high? If I see here, 1 day chart, yesterday's high was 3250. Okay. So 3250. I'm just taking an example. Okay. Buy a call. Else, if it if it breaches yesterday's low, And what was yesterday's low? 3207. 3207. Buy a put. Okay, now this is for the next month, October, not this month. Okay, and now you can buy anything because the premium is not going to be eaten away, right? Because this is just the beginning of October. It has not started, but you can always buy in October, and November, and December, 3 months ahead. You can buy. December and November will be having less movement, but October one is already having plenty of movement. Okay, so here I have given it here, right? So I've done a text wrap. Now let us see a 15-minute candle. 15-minute candle. Today is 26th. So the first one is here, right? The second one, 9:30. And we have to see after 9:30. Now after 9:30, 9:45, 9:45 candle, right? Here, this is 3242, right? And the higher is 3252. It breached 3250 yesterday's high. That means we got to buy a call. And if you would have bought a call, then we would have gained profits. Because no matter it goes down and down, but ultimately it comes up, right? And the lot size for Asian paints is, let me tell you, how much is it? I'll check my kite. I'm not very sure. Asian paints lot size is how much? Asian paint. Now, this Asian paint is a very good stock with lots of movement. Asian paint closed at 3277. So, if I see the October call, 3300 call for October, it is 83.5 and the lot size is 200, right? So 83.5 and the lot size is 200. That means 83.5 times 200. 83.5 times 200. It becomes 16,700. You buy a call, and because the lot size, you can go for, like, for example, 5 points, right? You can always get 5 points easily, right? If you keep smaller targets. Okay. This is for buying a call. But if you sell, for example, selling is again an art. How will you sell? For example, if I would have wanted to sell this one, then I would have taken a 1 hourly chart or a 1 day chart. I would have seen how much is it. So I can see here the resistance is here, 3322, right? And if I would have sold a 3322, for example, if I would have sold a 3350, 3350 call, then what would have happened, right? 3350 call. I'll check 3350 call. And that is October. It's not 3350, it's 3340. It is in the multiples of 20. So October 3340 call is 64.5. And if I see the change, 15-minute, if I would have sold it at that time, for example, I sold at, for example, uh, 9, 930, 940, right? So how much I would have gained? I'm just imagining, right? I'm just imagining. So price, if I see here, 945 candle, it's 59.15. If I would have sold it at 59, then I would have got easily to 52. That means straight 7 points. 7 to the 14, 14 points, right? So as soon as you get 4, 5 points, exit, right? Why? Because I sold a higher price call. Similarly, if I would have sold a put, right? A put. And I can see the resistance, the support here is 3200. 3200, 3206. So if, for example, 3200 put October, this is 47.05. If I would have sold this at, say, 945, then it was 58, and it went up to 47 in one day. Imagine 8 plus 7, 15 points. That means 15 twos are 30. That means 3,000 rupees. But the only thing is that selling one call and put is 99,000, right? But when you sell a call and the put both, then that becomes a hedging. And you can sell a call and a put both in 99,000. So let me write it here, summarize it here, whatever I just talked to you. Uh, Selling 3,300, 3340 call and selling a 3200 put at 9:45 a.m. Right? How many points? Minimum, minimum of 20 points. This is equal to 20 multiplied by 200 is equal to 4,000. That is one day. Imagine capital required is 100,000, about 100,000, or maybe less than that, because you're selling call and put both. So you have the hedge, right? 100,000. So just by spending 100,000, get 4,000 in one day. That's 4% per day. There are 22 days, trading days, typically in a month. In a month. So it becomes how much? 22 multiplied by 4 is equal to 88% per month. What about year? Multiply it by 12. This means 88 multiplied by 12 is how much? If you keep it 80, not 88, 12 8s are 96. Okay, 12 8s are 96, so 960% per year. How lucrative it is, right? If you keep following something, right? Now, if you see here, how beautiful is this, right? That's why I encourage selling more than anything. I'll put more videos for selling and we'll see how this selling will happen, right? So it will be very lucrative if we keep selling, but you need to have big profit, margin. You need to have big margin for selling, because this is Asian Paints. If you talk about any other like Tata Steel and all, you require 1.5 lakhs. But the hedging which I'm telling you, it will help you in selling a call put in 1 lakh rupees, for example, or 2.5 lakhs or 2 lakhs, for example. So instead of requiring 4 lakhs, you'll require just 2. And you sell a higher call and a lower put, much higher, much lower. You will still gain profit, right? This I've told you 960%. Imagine, this is huge. This is huge. And if really, if people are investing in the stock markets, they don't need to really put up the capital anywhere else, or stagnating in the bank. So that's all about this video. We talked about the Sensex expiry tomorrow, buying for people who have smaller amount of money, कम पैसे में ज्यादा कमाइए, ठीक है, 500 में 5000 कमाइए, ये बात किया मैंने. एंड आई टॉक्ड अबाउट हाउ मच 1 लाख रुपए में आप 960%, and I did not tell you how much it is. You multiply by 960, right? That is multiplied by 9.6 or multiplied by 10. So 1 लाख का 10 लाख, ठीक है, साल में, ठीक है, almost 1000%. That is the beauty of the stock market. So this is Hassan Rizvi buzzing off. Tech sources, Dr. Rizvi buzzing off. Please do like and subscribe and comment if you like my video. And if you've traded, then please do share the screenshots and do comment on my video. That's it. Goodbye. See you in the another video, exciting video tomorrow. Goodbye. Take care.